All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room. We'll talk some NFL playoff recap championship weekend Sunday. Had one real good game. Another game kind of didn't go as planned. Some injuries affected that game a little
Definitely.
bit. Still a good day of football. We have the Super Bowl matchup. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm a little disappointed in that first game. I wished San Francisco had lost the quarterback. I think the outcome, it may not have been different. I mean, I definitely think it would have been a closer game for sure. But I would have liked to seen it happen. See what would have happened if he would have stayed healthy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even when he came back in, because he didn't have a choice, he couldn't throw the ball. He could only hand it off. So, even when he came back in, because he didn't have a choice, he couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people, some people on like Fox Sports Radio and stuff saying that game would have went the same way even if Purdy would have stayed healthy. I don't think so. I'm not saying that. Well, I thought 49ers won the game going in, but I'm not going to say that they would have won the game, but I think it was going to be a lot better game.
Oh, yeah.
49ers defense started to get tired there in the fourth quarter because the offense couldn't stay on the field. They were one-dimensional. I mean, Philadelphia was just putting everybody in the box because they knew the run was coming.
Yeah.
I
would like to see what would have happened. I think it would have been a real good game. And I think it would have been just like this. I think it would have been just like this Kansas City Bengal game. I think it would come down to who makes a mistake. It's like the Bengals made a big mistake and lost the game.
Yeah, but that you can't get a personal foul penalty like that at the end of the game. You put them in. I mean, they might have tried a field goal, but it was going to be like a 55, 56-yard field goal, and in that weather, that was going to be tough.
Yeah.
But if you feel a whole lot better about that than the kick they end up kicking. So, but hey, but no, we'll start with the 49ers, the Eagles. Kind of mentioned it.
Actually, Chris, I think it'd been longer than that because it ended up being a 44-yard kick, and that was a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So it'd have been a 59, 60-yard kick.
Yeah. The game probably would have went in overtime.
Yeah.
49ers, Eagles, though. Like I said, Brock Purdy suffers injury to his arm in the first quarter there as he got hit as he was throwing the ball, ended up fumbling the ball. It looked like he hit his arm a couple times. It looked like he hit it on the guy and then also on the helmet on the follow through as well.
Yeah.
And looked like he was having trouble gripping the football. You looked over there during the first half; they had it all wrapped up in ice and stuff. They were trying to get it, but then you go now. You're down to your 4th-string quarterback as you bring in Johnson. But it just seemed like and they brought him in. They couldn't get a whole lot going offensively.
Yeah.
They did have that big run by McCaffrey, got that touchdown, kept the game close there in the first half. But then the second half, the Eagles just started taking the game over as, like I said, they were down there at 4th-string quarterbacks. They got one-dimensional, so they started. Eagles pulled away there in the fourth quarter, but
yeah.
I'd like to see what would have happened if Purdy could have played the whole game.
Yeah, Purdy would have been healthy and played the whole game. I would have liked to see it. I'm not saying Philadelphia don't deserve to be there because they definitely do. They've had a great year. Who do you think's going to be the favorite? You think it'll be Kansas City or Philadelphia?
I'm going to say Philadelphia because that's who they've had at Vegas, and then Vegas has had as a Super Bowl favorite. So I'm going to say Philly. Actually, I'll look here in a second see if they have any odds up yet. I'm sure they probably do. Oh, man. Look who's here now.
There he is.
Hey, listen. I'm going to get some life advice, if you don't mind, for about 2 seconds. Never go to Applebee's 20 minutes prior to closing. Just going to put that out there. Never go to Applebee's 20 minutes prior to closing. Because I don't know what they did or how fast they thought they cooked that food, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't cooked all the way through because I just spent the last 20 minutes on the toilet praying to Jesus to get me over it.
That's not good.
Hey, look, these are just little tidbits of Jay's life lessons. I'm just throwing them out there so nobody else has to go through that experience. Wow. What a hell of a night of football, huh?
Yep. It was, especially that last game. The first game was kind of disappointing because, the injuries, but hey, it happens. Part of football.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking trying to throw Purdy back in that damn game. That dude was done from the get-go. And to be honest with you, I knew it. Hey, when Purdy went down, I just knew in my mind, I was like, yep, that's it. We're done. Because
they didn't have a choice.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's what I'm saying. But their backup quarterback, that was that Josh Johnson. That dude been in the league for damn near since 2008. Had 16 damn teams.
Well, you got to remember, it's not their backup quarterback.
It's really their fourth quarterback.
No, that was like their third or fourth string guy.
Fourth string.
But bro, I mean, come on, you got a damn glove on. If you're gonna wear a glove and you still can't handle the damn, handoff, what the hell? What's your problem? You might as well get rid of the glove.
It really hurt the 49ers because it turned them one-dimensional, and the Eagles knew they all they could do was run the ball, and they could just stack the box, and there wasn't nowhere to go.
But the Eagles, I mean, they ran the football. San Francisco got tired on defense, and they just ran over them. And hey, what do you think now? Eagles or Chiefs?
Damn, that's a good. I'm gonna go Chiefs on this just because I still feel like, with Mahomes still not quite at 100, but he looked really good against Cincy. But I think that defense of Philly is going to be. I still feel like that's going to be too much for the Chiefs to deal with. I really do. You know what I'm saying?
It might be. I think it's going to be a good game. We could. Hey, if it went for a big mistake, the game may still be going on right now. If that guy wouldn't had that penalty for the Bengals.
Yeah, there was a couple of things about that. Right, number one, Osei, how do you say his name? Yeah, he's gonna be having. That's gonna stay with that guy all damn off season. That's all he's gonna think about his off season is that costly. Like, why would you do that? The dude is clearly out of bounds. Why? It just doesn't. I mean, it's just a stupid penalty, and it cost him the game. Honestly, that was there was other defining moments. The floater pass from Burrow, or the underthrown pass from Burrow to Higgins. So, both those interceptions were costly, but nothing as boneheaded as that one play and then he damn near almost injured himself in that play to boot on top of it all.
And he had played a great game. That's the sad part. He played a great game. I mean, that whole game, and then to make a bonehead play like that. The thing that got me, and they never showed a replay of it, was that intentional grounding, because they said there was no receiver.
That number 34 though was only like 5 or 6 feet away.
The running back Perrine was right there.
Perrine, okay. I just know his number, but he was right there in the vicinity. So I don't understand.
He was right there. So, but if it didn't go past the line of scrimmage, but they never showed the replay. I wanted to see the replay because I thought
it looked like to me it went past the line of scrimmage, though.
I think that was a bad call.
When I watched that, it looked like it went past because it hit maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of him and then a little bit to the right of him. And I know that was past the line of scrimmage.
But these referees got to get better. There's no way you should be able to run a play, and then you're lined up for another play, and you start you run the next play, and then all of a sudden they came and said the play was blow dead because the clock wasn't supposed to start and it started. How do you already start another play and you're just now making that call? I mean, that makes you look terrible.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, there's a lot of things that was really rough on that. Number one, the offensive line for the Bengals clearly did. Yeah. They were struggling. They did not. Mixon really could never get off. To be able to run the ball. Well. I think the offensive line was one of the issues. Obviously, the boneheaded play by Osei. Obviously, the two, bad throws. From Burrow didn't help out the situation. I think those were a lot of the issues. They just need to clean it up. It just wasn't a good night for them.
I didn't like the one play call towards the end of the game when it was 3rd and 3 and he threw the ball 30 yards downfield. And now, you had to punt. I didn't like that call. I know they went at 4th and 6 and they happened to make it. I understand that. But why not try to, get a first down
and then take a shot.
3rd and 3 and then try to take a shot there late in the game? I didn't like that play call. I just didn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that were issues there. Again, I felt like, they didn't take it, they truthfully did not take full advantage of that Chiefs secondary. But I think a lot of that had to do with, like, again, that offensive line just was not, holding they weren't holding the defense. They were not giving Burrow clearly enough time to get those, downrange passes to Chase or Higgins or what have you. They did get some. I mean, they made some good plays in there. Obviously, Higgins got that touchdown grab, which was really nice. And Chase had that one that got them going. And then the one play I really liked was when they threw the ball to Hurt, that tight end, and Burrow kept the play going. There was a phenomenal plays there by Burrow. I just think, there was a lot of dumb mistakes by the Bengals, and again, those two errant throws.
Yeah, penalties.
They had 9 penalties for about 75 or 80 yards, where Kansas City only had 4 or 5 penalties for like 40 yards.
And penalties killed them because a lot of those penalties was on third down.
Yep.
Where you're going to get off the field, and then you give them another set of downs.
But you got to give Kansas City credit, and you got to give Mahomes credit. I mean, they played a pretty good game. I mean,
I'm going to put I see where Greg brought it. He's saying, he's saying, can he get respect now? Look, I think the Chiefs, they both get their respect. Look, let's be honest. We give we give Mahomes plenty of respect. That dude gets respect all over the place. Trust me.
Yeah.
He is not in lack of respectville. Let's put it that way. So I don't like hearing that. Well, can he get his respect? Because I feel like Mahomes gets plenty of respect.
I think he's going to be the MVP again. I don't know. I don't know what he means. I mean, I guess he's probably upset because, Burrow had beat him 3 times, but he had beat him 3 times. I mean, just a fact. I mean, and
right.
I mean, but yeah, Mahomes.
Truthfully, the only one that was really disrespecting him was the mayor calling it Burrowhead. That was really the only. Hey, that's rivalry trash talk. So they got to get over that.
Greg, I do agree with
Jones
you.
played great.
The Chiefs defense did play well, and Chris Jones had his best playoff game that he's had in his career.
Yeah, I agree, because he's not been near as good in playoffs as he's been in the regular season. So he had a great game. But I mean, let's face it. I mean, Mahomes is going to go down as long as he stays healthy. He's going to go down as probably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. So, I mean, if he stays healthy and plays another 10, 15, he's going to go down one of the greatest. So, I mean, I think he gets plenty of respect.
I just feel like, I feel like this Eagles team is just extremely, extremely solid. And they don't have any injuries that they're dealing with. And their defense is better. The Eagles' defense is better than the Chiefs. And and Mahomes is going to see a different side of things, once the Eagles come into town. So not to disrespect the Chiefs or not give, Mahomes his due, but this Eagles team is just incredible right now. And Hurts is not showing signs of cracking, and he looks, he just looks really good.
He played okay today. He didn't have one of his better games today.
I mean, it wasn't one of the better ones, but again, he didn't turn the ball over. The defense did what they were supposed to do.
I'm saying he played okay. He didn't make no big mistakes, but his accuracy wasn't on the day as much as you've seen sometimes. There was a lot of low throws, some throws behind the receivers. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I am, but too. I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs also.
Good. I need $10 from each of you when we bet this. Are we betting this? Because
I just looked at the odds. The line, Vegas has the line opened up at FanDuel. It's Eagles are 1.5 point favorites. So they got even Vegas has it real close. Sports
right.
It's a real close game. This is gonna be a good Super Bowl, fun Super Bowl to watch.
I think that front seven of the Eagles though is really gonna give. I think they're going to give Kansas City a run for their money. And again, as you know, or at least as you saw, Mahomes, he's kind of staying in the pocket. He ain't really doing a whole of left-right scrambling, and that's kind of his bread and butter, especially against defenses like the Eagles.
But in a couple weeks, I think
Anthony Price. I will find you. I will.
I think he'll be feeling better. Also, in a couple of weeks, I'm not going to say it's been 100%, but that ankle's going to feel better in a couple of weeks than what it does now.
Do you think the Kansas City receivers are going to be better?
That's one thing. They had a lot of injuries.
They had some injuries at receiver position, and that could be big. They're going to need those receivers.
Speaking of receivers, Valdez-Scantling stepped up and had a hell of a game.
He did.
He said Chiefs. I want an 8-point spread. Yeah, and I don't even think you're the underdogs. I just got to be honest with you. I think if you look at the quarterback play, I'll give that to the Chiefs. Obviously, Mahomes is still Mahomes, and Hurts is still growing. I think Hurts is still growing into that type of role, but I still think the wide receivers. Obviously the Chiefs have Kelsey, and that dude is just a monster. But you can't look past Goddard, Brown, and Smith. I mean, the Eagles got their own three that's pretty damn nice.
I think the key is going to be whether Kansas City can slow down Philadelphia's run game.
Exactly. I was about to say that too, because I feel like the dual threatness of Hurts plus Sanders and Gainwell is going to be that's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, Scantling did have his best game of the
season. He did okay.
He had to.
I think Kadarius Toney or Kadarius Toney.
Huh?
What'd you say?
I think Kadarius Toney. Didn't he wind up getting injured in that game?
Yeah,
or I think there was
injured. Schuster got injured. They were down to like their last 2-3 receivers.
They were hurting. And like I said, if it wouldn't have been for that penalty, I think we're going to overtime, and who knows what will happen in overtime. I mean, we don't know. I mean, we just don't know. But hey, it was definitely a penalty, and he made the kick, and that's the game. I mean.
Well, it's like a couple of the Eagles players when they were being interviewed said, man, what makes you think you can beat the Chiefs? And they said, because we're on a damn mission. Like, these dudes are not satisfied. They are hungry. They are not satisfied. They want this bad. Like, you can tell they want it bad. Yeah, that's exactly right. I want to see him run against the Eagles defense as well. And I don't think it's going to be as nice as they think it's going to be.
And honestly, he's banged up a little bit. Hopefully he can get healthy, because he was hurting. He wasn't 100% at the end of that game.
Yeah. It seems like this year in the playoffs, we're seeing more guys banged up than maybe like last season. I don't remember like last season talking about as many injuries as we have over like the championship weekend heading to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just think that this Eagles team, man, I tell you, man, I hate the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I hate the Eagles, but golly, man, it's a tough team. It's a tough team, and it's a team that believes in itself. Like they said, they have chemistry. These guys lean on each other. They trust each other. And when you get a team that trusts each other and leans on each other the way that they do, and they're not dealing with any kind of injury issues. And again, I want to go back. I felt like the Bengals just clearly did not exploit the secondary enough of that Chiefs. And I think a lot of it had to do with the offensive line of the Bengals that just didn't afford them the opportunity. And I don't think that's going to be the same case when it comes to the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to exploit that secondary.
It's possible. The other big story we got brother against brother. Yep. We got the Kelsey brothers going to be playing against.
There's a couple of storylines, right? You got brother against brother. You got Andy Reid going back against his old team.
Yep, coached in Philadelphia for 10 years.
Oh yeah,
had the most wins as any Eagle coach.
Yeah, there's definitely some good storylines between these two teams. No doubt about that. He said, they're going to steroid them ankles up. Yeah, I don't think, like you said, I don't think Mahomes is going to require a steroid shot. He looked okay to me, honestly. I mean, as long as they're not steroiding him up right now, I mean, he looked okay.
I know Jay got some.
Yeah, man. Hey, there's a lot of things going on, obviously within the NFL. As you saw, man, the Cowboys are definitely cleaning house. They are cleaning house like nobody's business, man. I think the only job that's safe right now is Dan Quinn, and that's really, truthfully, I think about it. It's interesting to me that Mike McCarthy wants to call his own plays. I don't blame him for wanting to call his own plays because I think he knows his job's on the line. That's the first sign. That's the first sign when a coach thinks his job is on the line, when he starts wanting to call plays, because he don't trust nobody to call him. And I think if he feels like if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go up on my own doing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but didn't he used to call plays in Green Bay?
I think he to a point. I believe he did. But again, I wasn't really all up into Green Bay like that at the time, so I don't know 100% if that's true or not.
I think he did. I'm not, but I'd have to go back and look.
Well,
I'm pretty sure he did.
Truth be told, they say that Hackett wasn't really calling the plays; that he was just there as almost like the same way they talk about Bieniemy, not calling his own plays, Andy Reid doing it. So, who's to say, right? Unless they come forth in the candid interview and tell you about it. No, I don't. I don't think so. I really think Sean Payton going back to the booth and McCarthy being on thin ice. I would not be surprised that.
I don't think McCarthy's on thin ice though.
Oh, I think he's absolutely on thin ice.
Everybody said that.
Absolutely.
But everybody said that this year, and he didn't.
No, Gonzo. But why do you think he's on thin ice next year? He's on thin ice next year because his only safety net was Kellen Moore, and everybody was blaming Kellen Moore, which I still feel like Kellen Moore was one of the big issues from the Garrett holdover. Well, now he doesn't have that holdover safety blanket anymore. Now it's squarely on his shoulders.
What I'm saying is, if they go to an NFC championship, say they make it to the NFC championship game and lose, he's not getting fired. If they make it,
you got to get there first.
He was one round away from it this year.
Okay, well, one round is a lot of round.
Try not making the playoffs. It's a lot better. I'd rather be in the playoffs than not. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's as much on thin.
God, see, that's what mediocre people say. Damn it!
Oh shit! Here we go.
I'm sorry, I don't speak loser. Excuse me, I apologize. I only speak winner.
Wait. You got to speak loser. You're a Cowboy fan.
That's not true. That's not true.
You're not a Cowboy fan?
No, I said it's not true that I'm a loser. Damn it, I'm a winner. Son of a bitch. My mom said I'm a winner. I'm gonna go with it. I don't care what you say.
I'm sure your mom's a great lady, but I think she likes.
Oh, she's a saint. She is a saint. I'm not really 100% sure that I'm pulling her DNA, but she's a saint.
John, Broncos haven't hired their new head coach, but Dan Quinn came out and said he was staying in Dallas.
Have you seen the rumor about Harbaugh?
Yeah,
no.
Talking to the Broncos again.
Yep.
Really? They're linking him up again, huh?
They said they had a second interview.
Reports out a bunch of the Broncos management came to Michigan.
Yep.
They came to him.
They must have sat him down and said, "Hey, man, are you sure you don't want to rethink this? Because we're about to throw a whole sweaty bag of money your way."
Yep. I heard they flew to Michigan, so we'll see.
I mean, it would be a bad hire for them. Harbaugh would be a good hire. So I don't blame them from doing it. And in all honesty, I mean, they must feel like there's nobody else out there in the coaching world that is better than Harbaugh if they're willing to go out there and try to pry him out. Which I agree.
I would agree with that. I don't think there's anybody out there other than Harbaugh and Peyton. And Peyton's going to take so much to get. I can understand teams getting away from him.
You know what though, man? Hey, we say that though, but I have a lot of faith in Flores. I don't know why people are overlooking him or not bringing him in or not giving him the contract offer, because the guy is phenomenal, man. Look you can't discount or overlook what he did and turning Miami around.
Did they win a Super Bowl?
Well, I don't know, man. Last time I checked, management was trying to tank, weren't they? And he was trying to build.
I didn't ask you about management. Did they win a Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Oh, Lord Jesus. Sometimes in this
world. Yes or no?
Hold on. I got you. Hold on. Okay, look, guys. I know what they're trying to do. I don't appreciate it. They're trying to set me up for failure in this interview.
Yeah.
No. Hey, look. No. Did they give them the Super Bowl? Of course they did. I mean, they were still in they were just right at the cusp of turning the tide, because you got to remember when Flores got there, that was what year one of Tua, and Tua had just gotten hurt.
Right. If you don't win a Super Bowl, you're a loser, right?
There you go. Yeah. No,
I don't know how we got
Hey,
there. I'm not
Flores got
saying
a
you're a
bum deal.
loser if you don't get
I
to
agree
the
with
Super
you.
Bowl.
Flores did get a bum deal in
No doubt.
Miami. There ain't no doubt about it. And I agree with you 100%.
I agree with you 100%. But one thing that I disagree with, I thought Levy got a bum deal this year. And I know you're not a Levy fan. You think he's outdated. But with that team was hard for him, and he didn't have a team. He had a bunch of bums. I mean, seriously, he didn't have a team.
Hey, how much of a river do you want me to cry? Seriously, I done cried them all out when the Cowboys got kicked out of the playoffs. I don't have any more tears to give you, Argentina.
I think Rock's a pretty good hire, but I thought the Panthers should have stayed with the guy that took over the team.
By the way, if you didn't catch that last reference, that was Madonna when she said, "Don't cry for me, Argentina."
For me, Argentina, yep.
Yeah, some people out there didn't catch that reference. You know, that's what you call a very high level thinking comedic.
Well, they probably didn't catch it because they wouldn't think that would come from you.
Well, that's true. Then that's what makes it so freaking amazing. That's what makes it amazing, Tony. That's part of my motif. By the way, my wife didn't know that there was a word called accoutrement. When I said the word accoutrement, she thought I was talking about her cooter. And she said, "Don't use those kind of dirty words in the grocery store." I said, "But that's not what accoutrement means."
Accoutrement.
But no, I think Frank Reich was a good hire, but they got to find their quarterback, or it's not going to matter who they hire.
Well, he said he's putting this staff together.
If Frank Reich don't find a quarterback, he's going to be in the same situation he was with Indianapolis.
He didn't have no luck with the coach finding the quarterback, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, he said he's putting his staff together. I can't wait to see what that staff looks like. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what the hell was wrong with the staff they had at the beginning. I mean, outside of Matt Rule, what was wrong with the staff they had there? Wilkes was making it work. I mean, they were doing pretty damn good.
No, yeah, I felt like Wilkes should have got a shot.
I did too.
I guess that's
why we don't.
But
I'm just curious to see not to go back there, but I'm curious to see is who the Cowboys bring in as their offensive coordinator. Like I know McAdoo's out there. They were, he's under the McCarthy regiment. Hackett's already been hired, so he's out of the question. And then I think there's like one or two other guys out there, but I'm curious to see who they actually do bring in to replace Kellen Moore, that can take it to the next level. One of the things they were discounting on Kellen Moore was that he wasn't developing Dak enough. So I'm curious if that's the case, then who do they plan on bringing in that they can take Dak to the next level if that isn't, in fact the case?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard that I can't remember which team it was, is interviewing the offensive coordinator from Georgia.
Was it Monty for Monken or
Monken or something like that.
Monken, there you go.
Speaking of Georgia, I seen Georgia's quarterback got in trouble.
Yeah, Gonzo'S was out there in Dallas banging on doors because he got and wound up getting taken down for a public intoxication. What the hell is he thinking, man? This dude already struggling to make the second round of the draft if he's lucky.
You know what his problem was? He was in Dallas.
Here we go.
You knew that was coming.
I'm waiting for the punchline. There's a punchline there. I'm waiting for the punchline. Because you do have Jeff Saturday as your coach. So I'm waiting for the punchline.
It's not official yet, is it?
No, but
I'm afraid it's going to be official. I'm going to become
I don't know how anybody who has Jeff Saturday as your head coach is over here talking shit.
Hey, Jay, I'll join you as a Cowboy fan if we keep Saturday.
Hey, that's fine because, listen, we just hired Snow White as part of our cheerleading group, and she needs a couple of dwarfs, so we're good. Let's
I thought it was a pygmy. Make up your mind.
No, a pygmy and dwarf are the same damn thing.
No, there's a difference.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that my aunt is part of the dwarf council, so I think I'll rank you on that. Do we need to go on the bylaws? The bylaws clearly state pygmy, and dwarves are all lumped into the same category when casting for the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. I will put you down as sleepy.
when I when I read the definition for pygmy, it's pretty much from Africa. So I don't think any of the Snow White's dwarfs were from Africa.
That's who John says that Monken going
No,
to Tampa
that's
Bay.
not true. That's not true because they were all albino. So that's neither here nor there.
But who I was talking about Monken was going to go to, I finally remember who it was. It was the Baltimore Ravens was going to interview Monken to be their next offense to try to put with Lamar Jackson.
Wow. Okay.
Alice has mentioned Greg Roman from he said from the
Rams.
I
don't like that. I don't. I'd rather have McAdoo than Greg Roman. I don't know, man. I'm gonna let them do their thing. What do you guys think about Greg Roman? I mean, the Rams. I mean,
he went with the Rams. Greg Roman was the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator.
I was about to say I don't remember him being with because the Rams just brought in LaFleur.
Yes, yep. They brought in Mike LaFleur, I think, or whatever.
Michael LaFleur from the Jets. Yeah. Interesting. I would not want them to bring in Greg Roman. That would not be my first initial. McAdoo would be a good hire, I think.
Well, my thing on Roman is he going to what kind of offense is he going to try to run?
Right, because if he wants to do anything out there like Baltimore, that's not going to work for us.
Hey,
I don't know.
You never know. It might.
Hey,
if you keep the ball, keep Dak from throwing the ball around.
Dak run the ball a little more, might be better off. Be less interceptions if he can hang on to it and not fumble.
Man, hey, listen. I feel like they need to bring somebody in that can actually develop Dak. I think Dak needs more development in terms of reading the defense, game film, all that stuff. And I don't know if Greg Roman is the right hire for that developmental piece of it.
Yeah,
I'd agree. I agree with you.
I will say this. I will say this though. I felt like I feel like this is. I still feel like this is McCarthy's last shot. I mean, honestly, there's no security blanket. There's no security blanket there for him, right? He doesn't have Kellen Moore to blame it on. It's all him at this point. And if he really insists on calling his own plays, then it really, really is on him.
What do you think about Caldwell?
Caldwell would be a nice one.
I think
Caldwell
so.
Caldwell would be nice. I would not have an objection to that if that's the case. No, Caldwell would be nice.
I think that'd be a good hire.
What do y'all think about was it Rodgers that just come out and basically was hinting that the Packers are looking to move on from him and possibly turn the reins over to Jordan Love?
I haven't seen the reports. Did new reports come out today, or is just people talking about what he said on Pat McAfee?
Oh man, there's been a couple of things on. I saw a couple of things on Bleacher Report about it, and
was it from his Pat McAfee?
No, it wasn't a Pat McAfee. It was an independent article.
I don't think,
but I can see that, man. I mean, can you see them because you got to figure Rodgers is 39. I mean, honestly, this would not be a bad time to move on from him to see what you can get in the trade market, and you clear up cap space. It would. I mean, at some point you're going to have to move on from Rodgers. So why not do it now, where he can still get you at least a little bit of something back in return, and also give you a lot of cap relief because he's still owed $160 million, something like that, guaranteed.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still owed some money.
So it would be in the Packers' best interest. Especially since now they have this young wide receiving core to go on ahead and let Rodgers go somewhere else, get whatever you can get for him, and then clear up that cap room, and then that really frees up a lot of things. Especially, what if he brought in Carr? What if they brought in, Carr would be an excellent one for them to bring in. He's still young enough. He doesn't require having money on the books.
I think if you move on from him, you're going to play Love, ain't you?
I would think that they at least give Love a shot.
And again, yeah, right. So you may, I'd just say Carr because they're going to have to trade him for something. Maybe they just trade for picks, which is fine too. I mean, picks would be great for them.
Yeah.
I think the Lions' offensive coordinator is, at least for this year, going to stay where he's at because he turned down an interview with the Colts. He was supposed to interview, and he turned it down. So I think it was his first year at Detroit. He did a heck of a job, but he had never been an offensive coordinator before. I think he wants another year of learning. And then if Detroit makes the playoffs, do well, then I think he would have maybe a pick of jobs, of several jobs, instead of maybe just one or two. And I'm talking head coach, not another offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, God, I would love I wouldn't mind if they went there and traded for Dak Prescott. Jesus, that would be great.
Who has the
I'll
Colts
take on that money.
second interviews with?
I don't want to take on that money, but I will tell you this: Rodgers already said that he would restructure his contract. He already said he knew that he probably had to restructure.
I know a lot of people think he's going to the Jets because Hackett went to the Jets. But
that's a very high possibility. And what kind of craziness is that? Favre went to the Jets. It's almost like he's following Favre's footprint.
What would be the best fit for him to try to win another Super Bowl? I don't think the Jets is it. What do you think would be? Dallas would be a good fit. I mean, I'm not saying Dallas. I'm just saying. I mean, going for a Super Bowl. I mean,
right.
To add that. I mean, just
San Francisco.
San Francisco would be a good fit.
But I don't think San Francisco's going to bite on that because I think they like Purdy. I think they like what they have in Purdy, and I don't think they necessarily want to take all that money on.
I'm not saying they're going to do it.
I don't think they want to take that money on when they don't have to.
I'm just saying, where would be? What about the Ravens?
They have to get some weapons.
They'd have to get some more. They'd have to get some more weapons.
The thing with the Jets is if the Jets are going to have to bring in some more offensive line help, either through the draft or what have you. Their offensive line was rough, and then they also are going to have to try to still find. I still think they need another wide receiver or a tight end to really complement what they have. And I think that obviously a lot of it's going to depend on Breece Hall coming back, getting back into form from that injury he took. But with Carter there and Bam Knight there, either way, I think that the Jets would not necessarily be a bad idea if through the draft and free agency they upgrade a couple of spots to fill in those gaps. And if they do that, then I can see that. But I think for him, the best spot would be to trade for Dak. I think and then of course I don't know what they would do with Dak. Maybe they turn around and retrade Dak again for picks or whatever, but. God, man, in terms of a landing spot, I mean, you have a great defense. So your defense is straight. You got a good running back in Pollard. You got good wideouts. You got a good offensive line. You got tight end in Schultz so they could get him back under contract. I mean, there's a lot of pieces there that would be easy for him to flow into. And again, Mike McCarthy's there, so he'd flow right into his head coach.
I know with the Colts, they've interviewed for second interviews. They brought back Eric Bieniemy, Raheem Morris, Jeff Saturday, Shane Steichen from Philadelphia. He's coming in this week for a second interview. There was somebody else, but I'm missing somebody else that they brought in for a second interview.
How are those names? Chris, who would you like to see him hire?
I'm going Bieniemy, honestly. I'm a fan of Bieniemy.
I'm going Raheem Morris or Shane Steichen. I like Callahan too for the Bengals. What he's done with to help with Burrow and stuff. This year.
Yeah, you're going to need that too when you figure out who your quarterback is going to be in the draft for developmental purposes.
I know Bisaccia interviewed. I'm not sure I think he did have a second interview, John. I think you might be right on that. Which was the Raiders interim coach last year.
I know the one I would have the least for, and that's Jeff Saturday.
That's Gonzo'S guy right there, man. Look, you don't talk bad about Jeff Saturday now.
I didn't say he's my guy. I just think that's who they're going to hire.
No. That's Gonzo'S guy. I one time said Saturday in a negative light, and Gonzo gave me the stare down. So that's Gonzo'S dude.
See, I thought Dak was your guy.
He was, man. He was. But sometimes you have to cut bait. You have to know when to cut bait and start looking for the right thing. Sometimes you got to do it, Tony. It's not easy, man.
Yep, that's true. Well, if the Colts keep Saturday, I might cut bait.
I think it's going to be interesting to see who they hire. I think Raheem Morris would be a good hire.
I take enough punishment with the damn Reds. I don't need to take punishment with the Colts too.
Man, hey, thank God for the Pacers.
Yeah,
Well,
hey, they signed Turner.
They're starting to fall back a little bit with injuries.
Yeah, the injuries hurt, but they signed Turner for a 2-year extension.
I just have a hard time understanding, not to jump bait, but I have a hard time understanding Irsay's logic. You know, if he was to hire Saturday as the permanent head coach, I would have a hard time understanding his logic, man. I just, with all the candidates that are out there, and there are some good candidates out there, man. Honestly, there's some legitimately good candidates. You know, I just don't know how you give a guy with zero experience, you know, the job over that.
If he'd went 5-2 or something like that, it'd be a different story. But he won one game and they collapsed. So I don't see how you could keep him.
I think I think he has to go back to just being a positional coach with the offensive line. I think that'd be perfect for him. And then you got to work your way up the ladder rung. You know, you start out positional, you know, with the offensive line. Maybe then you go from there to offensive coordinator if you do a good job with the O-line. You know, but I think you got to start somewhere and get actual experience before you just jump, both feet in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like me saying, well, I rode an airplane that's like me saying, I was a baggage handler down there at, Southwest Airlines, and all of a sudden they bumped me up to pilot. Oh, shit. Okay. Have a good flight.
I'm sure you could do it. These planes these days probably about fly themselves.
Gonzo, you want to fly that? Okay, Gonzo, I'm a baggage handler.
You take your ass on the plane with him pilot. I ain't getting on the son of a bitch.
Hey, listen, you want to fly J Airways? Let's go, baby.
J Airways.
Because, hey, listen, I don't know if you've ever looked at this off an airplane, but there's like a billion switches, and I can't even read this close in front of me. And you want me to? I'm just saying, look, man, you put some people out there. Go ahead.
I was kind of hoping they would get D'Amico Ryans, but he's looks like from everything I hear, he's going to be in Houston.
I think D'Amico's Houston bound. I think he wants, and which a Houston job is very attractive if you think about it. He gets to pick his own quarterback of his choosing. He has a good running back. He has a good wideout and Cooks. I mean, there's enough to work there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hell yeah, man. Listen, never mind the ball of Jack Daniels sitting to the left of the pilot. It's all good. But no, I think there's enough there that would make it a very interesting place to be.
Yeah, I think the Super Bowl is going to be a good game, and I am.
Man, I think it's going to be good.
I do too.
I think it's going to be real good. I think it's going to be a lot of mystery behind that. Golly, man.
The one thing I hate about the only thing I really don't like about the Super Bowl, is this damn 2-week shit. I hate that they take a week off. Play fucking next Sunday.
Oh man, hey, that's all money driven. They need a lot of time to advertise, put sponsors in. Look, they got bills to pay, Gonzo.
Oh, I know, but still, fuck those bills.
No, hey, listen, I'm right there with you. Trust me. He said at least, there you go. Yeah, that's true, man. In Arizona, it'll be a nice sunny. Well, hopefully, it'll be a nice sunny day.
Well, the game will be inside, but at least it'll be nice out for all the other Super Bowl stuff and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
So the Eagles are 1.5-point favorites. So nice profile pick, but so Vegas has it as being they think it's almost a pick, and they have it as a real close game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this line moves through these next couple of weeks as we see who's injured, who's going to be healthy, and be available. I know Chiefs had some guys banged up. I don't think the Eagles had a whole lot of guys banged up. At least it didn't sound like it. Didn't hear a whole lot about anybody.
But that's why I think the Eagles have a little bit of an advantage there too, is because of the fact their injuries are nowhere near. You got Kelsey, who miraculously came back from that back issue. You got Mahomes coming back from the high ankle sprain. But then again, you look at, like you said, you look at the wideouts and they're non-existent because they're hurt. So I think the injury bug is going to be, that might be the X factor for the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Or for the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
It could be. It very well could be.
Man, what a time to be alive. Holy cow.
But yeah, you know what? They changed the overtime rule for the playoffs this year, and we didn't get one overtime playoff game. So we didn't get to see the new rules in action.
I was just about to ask you, what are the new rules for overtime? Because they were mentioning it last night or today or this evening, I should say. It didn't get to that point, but what are the new overtime rules?
Both teams get a chance to possess the ball no matter what. So even if the team goes down and scores, say the team that receives the ball goes down and scores a touchdown, the other team still gets a chance to possess the ball. It's not.
It's not once and done. Now you actually get the opportunity to rebuttal back, even if they score a touchdown.
Yes.
I don't know if I like that. I think I like the old school way better.
Those new playoff rules for this year, but like I said, we didn't get to see them in action because none of the games made it to overtime. Thought we was going to get to see it tonight.
Yeah, I would have if it wasn't for that goofy penalty.
I don't know what he was thinking. Both his feet was in the white.
I thought it was crazy that he did that. Then he wound up injuring his own self to boot on top of that.
Yep, sure did.
I don't know if he was as much injured or if he's much just mad and embarrassed about what he had just done after he realized, oh fuck, I just gave him 15 yards and we had just held him.
Yeah, it cost us the game.
Well, again, I mean, it's one thing to throw an interception. It's another thing to hit somebody when both feet out of bounds. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? It's just those boneheaded mistakes, man, that do it to you every single time. If I was the Bengals, hell, I'd be looking at finding him. I'd be like, you know what? You don't have to give up some money for that stupid mistake.
Yeah, they got close to a pick 'em. The over-under is 49.5.
Wow.
So I don't know. I could see the game, but both teams being in the 20s.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I can see the Eagles get it at 20s, but I honestly could see the Chiefs struggling offensively. I don't know. I don't think Pacheco's going to have that same success on the ground like he did against the Bengals against that Eagles.
See, but the weakness in the Eagles' defense is a run defense.
Well, Pacheco really didn't have that good of a game. He had a couple of decent runs, but if you look total yards, I don't think he had that much.
I mean, I understand what you're saying about the run game of the Eagles, but at the same time, we also know that the Chiefs don't really have a true run game either.
No. Nope.
No, most of the time. Sometimes they get it going. Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna come down to that Chiefs defensive line as well. They're going to put some pressure, be able to put some pressure on Hurts. And if Chris Jones, he had like 16 sacks in the regular season, and then he had 2 today.
I just wondered if they're going to be able to contain Hurts. The Bengals quarterback had 2 or 3 pretty good runs today against them, and Burrow's not a running quarterback. Hurts might really hurt Kansas City's defense. It's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I was telling Jay when you was gone. The only thing I hate about it is we got to wait 2 weeks for the damn game.
Yeah, I've never liked the 2 weeks. I like 1 week, but it is what it is.
All about that money. Yeah, John, I think I'd take the over the 49 as well. I think, but you never know. It could be a.
You think it'll be over 49 points? I I don't like that.
Think about it. Think about 27-24. That's 51 points.
Yeah, but you got to get that 27 first.
Well, that's I'm
And that's my point. I just don't know. I mean, I think I see the Eagles upholding their end of it. I just don't know the Chiefs get that much. That's the problem where I'm facing.
I don't know.
And I just do that because I feel like their wide receiver room, especially now that well, we don't know what the severity of Tony's injury is, but
with their injuries. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if them guys don't come back and 100% or close to 100%, it can make a difference.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to be around 25 points or more. It's going to be fun.
I think the key for the Eagles is their defensive front seven has got to get pressure on Mahomes. I think with that gimpy foot, even though he's playing everything, but there's still a gimp there. I think with that gimpy foot, he could be easy prey for them.
Yeah. Well,
the Chiefs do have a pretty good offensive line. They have one of the better offensive lines in the league, so that could help them.
Really? One of the best offensive lines in the league. Okay. Wow. Good times. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying at one of the best in the league. I think it's. I saw Mahomes under a lot of issues with that Cincy defense.
Well,
he was having some tough times against that Cincy defense.
I don't know. He looked pretty good.
John sucks. Man, what a time. I tell you, they got 2 weeks of game planning of nothing. That's another thing too. Look, that 2 weeks off, a lot of teams can go cold in that 2 weeks off. You start to, because then you start doing your media days. You start doing, all the little things in between, right? All the little sponsors that they got to do, each individual player, things like that. I think a lot of that takes away from the intensity or the momentum that you had coming out of the conference championship games. And I wonder how each team is going to respond coming back from all the hoopla of media day and all the things leading up to media day. You know what I mean?
Casey's been there before, so I don't think it'll affect them that much. Philly, I think they'll be all right. But I mean, if it's going to affect anybody, I think it'd be more Philly than KC.
Jay, Eagles have the number 1 offensive line in the league. The Chiefs have the number 2 offensive line in the league.
Okay. There you go. Number 2. Plaque for the alternates is in the ladies' room. Thanks for coming to TED Talk. Oh, no. There's 2 O's in Goose. 2 O's.
And they were number 2 for run blocking.
Nah, look, the Chiefs. I mean, I'm not saying that they have a bad offensive line. I don't think you get to where they are offensive line. I do think that Eagles front seven though is going to be a monster for those guys to deal with.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
But then again, though, a lot of people say though too that the Eagles had one of the easier routes to the playoffs. So. There's 2 ways, I guess, you can look at that, right?
Yeah. Well, I would have loved it. And, I would have loved to see Purdy stay healthy and see what would have happened. I think it would have been an interesting game. I think we would have been talking.
Yeah, that was really upsetting when he went down as fast as he did. Because I felt like that just took all the momentum, out of that 49ers team, honestly. It just, like, all the wind just left out of it.
I'm not saying Philadelphia still wouldn't have won. Maybe they will, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but I think it would have been a real close. I think we'd have been talking about another 23-20 game, a real close game, coming down to whoever makes the mistake. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of what ifs there, right? I mean, once somebody goes down like that, it does. It opens up the door for what ifs. I mean, at the end of the day, Eagles got the win, but you didn't really get a good sense of this team because they did go down so early that, it wasn't necessarily quite as hard for them. So it does kind of leave you with questions in terms of, that game versus the game that they got coming up with the Chiefs.
Yep.
So there are some unanswered questions there. Man.
Who's better clock management, Peterson or Reed? That you trust in Super Bowl? If it's close, I give it more to Reed. It'd be Sirianni. I probably would have to lean toward Reed because Reed has so much more experience than Sirianni.
Yep.
So I'd say that's the reason I would lean Reed probably have a little bit better clock management. But if you remember back when Reed was younger and when he was in Philadelphia, even when he first got with the Chiefs, sometimes it was that was a knock on Andy Reid was he didn't manage the clock well at the end of games. That used to be one of the knocks on Andy Reid. I think he's cleaned that up a lot over the years. So I would give Andy Reid the advantage on that just because I think Sirianni's done a hell of a job in Philadelphia, and I think he's a good coach. But this is also the first time he's been in the Super Bowl. And I mean, we saw what happened to Sean McVay the first time he went to the Super Bowl and coached against Bill Belichick. So I mean, you just never know what could happen.
And another thing too is, wish Smith-Schuster down, and in all the other issues that Valdez-Scantling. That Valdez-Scantling putting up, 6 for 116. Does that make them look at him now and going forward, not necessarily just the Super Bowl, which they're going to have to rely heavily on him at the Super Bowl, but could this be the open door that Scantling needed to prove what he can do, when it comes time on his next contract negotiation?
I mean, it could. He had some. It could. He had some big. Scantling had some big plays in that game today, some big catches. And, I mean, I don't know how bad Tony and Schuster and them are hurt. They might be back in a couple. You got 2 weeks. They might be back for the Super Bowl, but no, I do think it could go a long way in helping Scantling, whether he stays with the Chiefs or moves on to another team. That game he put together today could go a long way in that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I think for him, this is Scantling's big opportunity for his career. I mean, to be put in this position, number one, you just had a great conference championship game. And then if you go to the Super Bowl, and if he does have a great Super Bowl game, then come next offseason, hey, people are going to be looking at Scantling, in terms of contract and things like that, Yep. I don't know. I don't think Mahomes is fully black. I think there's some white in him somewhere. So it may be like 1.5 black people.
Mocha.
Hey, look, I didn't make him mixed. Somebody else made him mixed. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't got a problem with that.
I love the mixed people.
I don't know about the mocha, but okay.
No, because they got the best hair and the best skin tone. It's amazing. But the women are beautiful. Women are beautiful, man.
We're going to get back on that.
Hey, something real quick from last night. Jay, you probably didn't hear this, but you watched the Royal Rumble. The ladies' Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley won that, and she came out of the press conference and said that she dislocated her knee during the match, but it went back in place. So not only did she go through. Yes, her knee she dislocated her knee and she got it back in place, and she went the whole match. I mean, she came in number 1.
That's crazy to do what they were doing with a dislocated knee.
Yeah,
that's
her knee
that's crazy.
Back in.
I bet that happened when there was a while where you couldn't even find her, she was nowhere to be seen. That must have been when she dislocated. They were popping it back into place or whatever.
Yeah, Ben.
I'll tell you what,
speaking
man.
of that,
Hey, you're a bad son of a bitch if you can do all that with a dislocated knee. Hey, I ain't messing with you.
speaking of that, before we got out of here, I was going to say let's talk about a little bit about the Royal Rumble from last night. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble, Jay?
I thought it was good. In terms of, I thought the men's and the women's 30, those two matches were amazing. I didn't really care too much for the pitch black, other than I thought the uniforms that they were wearing, the glow in the dark stuff, was pretty cool. I thought the Kevin Owens was pretty. There were some spots. I would give it a B. I would give it a solid B.
Yeah, I would have given it a B till the aftermath with the storytelling they did with Owens getting handcuffed and all that stuff. I upped it up to. I thought that was really good, so I upped it up to a B plus. But yeah, I agree with you. I thought the
if you're going to go to the B plus with that storytelling, I thought
it was really good. I thought the men's had more action. I didn't think the ending. I mean, I thought it was good, that match that Cody and Gunther put on that last 5 or 6 minutes. That's another thing. Gunther went officially 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds in that match. Gunther did.
Man, they abused the hell out of Gunther in that whole damn match. I mean, to go as long as he did, that's crazy.
And then I thought the ending of the women's match with them three there, on the edge of the ropes and all that stuff, I thought that was real well done. So, I thought it was really good. So, I enjoyed it.
John says thoughts on what happened between the bloodline. I thought it was awesome with what they done with the bloodline last night and the way the story was told. It's going to be interesting to see which way they're going from here.
Well, they're saying that I read some stuff. They're saying that Jay's officially out of the bloodline. So we'll see what they're going to do Monday night and Friday night with that.
No, I don't understand. Why are they kicking Jay out of the bloodline? What was that all about?
Well, because he walked away from him. He wouldn't attack. They told him to attack Sammy, and he wouldn't do it, and he walked away. So now they're mad. Now he disobeyed.
That's why when in Raw, what was it on? Was it Friday when Sammy came up to Jay and was like, "I won't forget what you did" and all that kind of stuff. That's what he was talking about when he had the hood on.
Yep, he disobeyed the chief. So
yeah, I think Sami Zayn's great, and his facial expressions and just the way he was in the ring, and then I thought Jay was real good during that.
Yep.
And of course, Paul Heyman's always awesome over there. Stand over there, just watch to see what he's doing.
Yeah, Jay, I watched it all back this morning before the football game started, so I could hear all the crowd and everything. And actually, the crowd was pretty much into that pitch black match. I mean,
right.
They were pretty fairly into it. I'm not going to say it was their favorite thing because it wasn't.
I think it was a novelty that they were into. I think the novelty of it being black and like you said, the costumes and everything that they did. I think that probably played a lot. It seems to me like that played a lot of part.
It was something different.
I liked it. I just thought the match was too short.
Yeah,
that was my biggest problem with it. I thought it could have went a little bit longer.
Well, when you have two matches that last an hour and 20 minutes, hour 15 minutes,
and then you had,
and then the thing with
and then Howdy missing as bad as he did.
Yeah.
I just thought the whole, when Brock Lesnar, and I know you guys said that wasn't planned, that it was probably a mistake on somebody's part, but yeah, just the fact that he got out as quick as he did, I was like, man, that kind of left a. And I'm not a big fan of Dominic. I didn't.
Oh yeah, we found that out last night. There was you and it was Anthony Price. Anthony Price.
Yeah, I would. Hey, if I was Brock Lesnar, I would have thrown that dude out the damn ring. I would have thrown him about 4 or 5 rows into the crowd.
Yeah, he has before. He's one of the guys when Dominic first got into business. He beat the shit out of Dominic.
Yeah, and I think Dominic needs to have that done to him sometimes. I just, I look at a wrestler like Dominic. No offense, but with his physical disposition, it's like he's like a kid compared to
have him watch AEW and see Orange Cassidy and some of these guys and see what he thinks of that.
I just feel like he's too small to take. I can't take him seriously because he's just too small to take seriously.
They said the reason they did that with Mysterio, he's hurt.
Yeah, I saw that too. I read where he
Did
was.
you notice
he was hurt.
Mysterio's music? No, I haven't. I haven't watched that part back with the sound of it because I had the sound down when we was watching it because we was doing the watch along, and I think I got it figured out now where we can keep the sound going through our headphones.
So is Rey Mysterio and Dominic? I know that there was an issue between them, right? Dominic had kind of turned on Rey there for a minute. Is there still issues between the two of them?
Yeah, they're playing. I think there's going to be a match between them two at WrestleMania. I think that's where they're headed.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I like seeing Booker T come out. I haven't seen Booker T in a hot minute. It was nice to see him get in the wrestling group. Cody Rhodes, I think we all kind of agreed that, having him come out at 30 wasn't the best idea. I probably would have had to come out around 20 or 21.
Yeah, I think so too. But something about that too, maybe a reason for this. He didn't get medically cleared to be in the Royal Rumble to the day of the Royal Rumble. So maybe physically, maybe that's why they did 30 instead of having him in the match even longer.
Yeah. I'm just tired of seeing Roman Reigns as a champion. I would love to see Cody Rhodes take over the championship and take it in a different direction, especially since he has all that United States, patriotic style costuming and stuff. Man, I love that.
Yeah. He loves his neck tattoo.
You're just pissed off because you want one. I might get that done next week.
That'd be it. You should get you a Dallas Star.
Yeah, I thought about that, and the wife shot it down. So I don't know. Some things, I can get. Some things I can't get. Whatever, man. She did like the dinosaur on my penis, so I don't know. She seemed to like that. So. Yeah, it starts out as a grasshopper and grows into a T-Rex. It's pretty cool.
T-Rex, okay.
Grasshopper. It's a T-Rex on a 1/32 scale. Leave me alone.
Oh Lord.
No, but I tell you, man. Hey, I think we got some good football. I think now. I tell you, now we got 2 weeks. I see a lot more basketball coming into play now. And I think Gonzo had said we got World Baseball Classic.
Yep, you're coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, getting ready to kick off.
XFL.
And we got March Madness for crying out loud.
Yeah, still college basketball going to start kicking up into gear now. So
yep, college basketball. Then you got XFL starting here in about a month.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. The fact that we come out of NFL and then we got a whole slew of XFL to go through.
I'm looking forward to it. I was an XFL fan when it came back when the pandemic ended up shutting it down, but I watched it about every weekend, and dude, I thought it was I thought it was entertaining football. I really did.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that too much, but I thought that was interesting that Embiid was snubbed from the All-Star voting, considering that he's been in the NBA MVP conversation now for like the last 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden now you're going to snub him at the All-Star. To me, that doesn't make sense. I get Giannis in there, but outside of Giannis, I don't understand why Embiid is not in there.
Wait, he just got snubbed from the starters list, right?
Yeah, he could still make it on the reserve list, but yeah.
Has he had a better year than Giannis?
I'd have to look at numbers. This early in the NBA season, I'll be honest, I don't pay enough attention to that I can tell you about the numbers on that. I watch Pacers, and that's about it until after All-Star break. That's when it starts getting more interesting, really. And the players have proven in the NBA that the regular season really don't mean nothing to them. So it's hard for me to get real excited about watching a regular season game where 3 or 4 of the players are fucking load management, sitting on the sideline, completely healthy, but don't want to play because they had to play a game the night before.
I don't understand that either. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
So he's averaging a couple more points a game.
A couple more points a game.
Giannis has better rebounds though.
So I mean, that's pretty close. So I mean, I don't know if you can bitch either way, as far as who's made the starter. I mean,
Well,
I
hell,
don't-
give
I
me.
don't watch-
I mean, when you're doing 33, 10, and 4, I mean, damn.
But I think Giannis is doing
Probably
31, 12, or 13, and I don't know what his.
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah.
31, 12, and 31, 12, and 5.
so that's pretty close. I mean,
Well,
I don't think you can argue either
It
way.
is close, and the Bucks do have the better record, so I can understand that.
I figured they'd have Giannis as a power forward.
That's true. That would make sense if they did put him at power 4. To be honest with you.
But all right, Jay, you got any final
Wow,
thoughts
what a time.
before we get out of here for tonight and get ready for a Monday full of talking a bunch of football and basketball?
Oh man, yeah. Other than make sure you catch Afternoon Blitz tomorrow at 1 p.m. and then we got Unscripted. Not Unscripted. Tomorrow's Monday. Yeah, Afternoon Blitz, man. I won't be on the baseball show. I got a meeting to be into, but I'll definitely join up or hook up with you guys on the Afternoon Blitz. You can catch Unscripted on TikTok and Unscripted Guys, all one word, on TikTok. Or excuse me, Unscripted Sports, all one word, at TikTok. And then on Twitter, it's Unscripted Guys, all one word. So catch us out on those platforms.
And you won't be disappointed. Unscripted is a great show. So's Afternoon Blitz. So everybody out there, check out those shows because they're both great shows.
Do you have anything?
Nope, I'm good to go.
Guys, join us 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, Around the Bases, our baseball show, myself and the stat guy. Like Jay said, 1 p.m. Eastern, we have the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. 3 o'clock, we have Easy Money, a sports betting show. And then 11 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, another episode of G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room. So join us for that. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network and at Unscripted as well. Like and follow on all social media at Gonzo'S Sports Room. We greatly appreciate it. We appreciate everybody joining us. What the hell do I got going on here? There we go. Had the screen all jacked up. I appreciate everybody joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for another episode of GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. Have a great night.